It has been just over a year now since we first visited Paul and Annett in their spectacular off-the-grid tiny house here in Byron Bay. Today we are back in town to check in with them and see how they're getting on. G'day Paul.
Hey Bryce, good to see you.
Good to see you, mate. Hi Annett, lovely to see you again.
Nice to see you.
Guys, the house is looking fantastic.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's been performing really well. Really happy with it.
When I first visited you, that was about a year ago. You had just moved in. You've been living in the space for a year now. How's it all working out?
It's fantastic. Can't complain.
Yeah, it's really nice. Really feels like home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cozy, it's nice. It doesn't feel congested or like we're living in a box. It's open, it's everything we need really.
It was a good personal experiment to see like how would living off renewables go, and it's been great. Worked out perfect. I was just really passionate about going carbon free because I think it's the future, and I was tired of trying to wait for Australia to catch up to do it. They weren't, so I was like, right, I'm just going to do it myself. And it was a bit of the unknown as well, but I was pretty confident it'll work, and it did. We have abundant energy, more than we can ever use. We probably only use like a quarter of what we actually gain, and so it's not a hassle to turn appliances on if we want to, or yeah, it's worked out really, really well, beyond expectations.
And it's really great to be able to just turn on the air conditioning when it's really hot, and we can have it run for like 5 or 6 hours during the day, and it doesn't cost the earth, literally. Yeah, it's just guilt-free aircon, really, so it's good. It's great.
It's nice.
So speaking about living off renewables, you definitely did not leave any stone unturned when it comes to kitting out your house. You've got all the different tech here. How has all that been working out for you?
Yeah, awesome. So in terms of energy, we've never had any dramas, like especially the electricity. We've got so much. Hot water's been great. We've had all year round hot water. I think there was 1 week we had like of overcast. We had maybe like 1 day of just lukewarm water as opposed to hot. But that's really good. We're really happy with it. And the biogas as well, that's working great. Every day we had gas to use just from waste food, so it was perfect. Yeah.
Brilliant. But speaking about the biogas, the digester that you've got here, that is looking a little bit sorry for itself now. What's been going on with that?
Yeah, so unfortunately the first one we had sprung a leak. So the guys at Home Biogas replaced it for us under warranty, and they upgraded us to version 2 where that's had that ironed out. So we're excited to see how well it performs.
Fantastic. So what's involved in the provisioning process, and why does it look like a very sad balloon right now?
Because you need to fill it up with a lot of water to get started. So
1,200 litres.
Yeah, 1,200 litres. And if you're on mains, that's not a problem because you can just put in a hose and away you go. But off-grid, we don't want to use our good tank water, so we're just topping it up with our grey water as we get it. Type thing. Yeah,
so the last few months have been dry, and we wanted to preserve the water in the tank, so to use it for our purposes rather than for the biodigester. So it will take a little bit longer to fill it up, but once it's up and running, it'll work just as well as the first version we had.
So right now that the home biogas system is non-functional, obviously that was one half of your cooking and everything, but you still have induction, so you're still generating enough electricity from your solar panels to be able to cook and do everything that you need to do inside the house.
Yeah, that's right. It's good to have that redundancy there. Yeah, the induction picked up the slack where the biogas fell down for a little bit, and that was perfectly fine. You
have a 10,000 litre water tank here, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Australia yet again is in a state of drought. How has the collection of rainwater been, and have you found that you've had enough?
So yes, we've had enough water so far, but it's just different to what we expected. So spring is usually the dry season here. We didn't expect much rain, and yet it did rain a lot during spring. Currently we're in summer season, so it's rainy season right now, but it hasn't rained much. So that's why we have to be conservative with our water at the moment.
So you've been monitoring your systems as well?
Yeah, once a month measuring our water tank and our energy usage. The water's maintained about 70 to 90% all year round pretty much. And just now during our drought period it's dropped to 50, but I don't think that'll be a concern because I think rain will be on the horizon hopefully.
Now your solar thermal water heater that you've got here, this is all you use for heating your water, isn't it?
Yes, we don't have any backup energy to supplement it. It's purely just from the sun.
So you mentioned that there was only 1 week where you didn't get quite the temperatures you were looking for. Was that a big problem, or is that just something which, you know, you just you're happy to live with?
Yeah, I mean, we're off grid, so now and then you're going to have like a day or two of inconvenience, but lukewarm water for a day or two is not bad.
That is exactly one of those things. You don't always have perfect systems. Sometimes you're going to have less power than others, sometimes you're going to have a little bit less water than others, and sometimes your biogas digester is going to look a little bit deflated. But overall, it is really cool to see that the systems that you've designed are working really well in your home.
Yeah, that's right. Now, it's important to have redundancy and to say it's okay that something's not quite working perfectly. But yeah, it's just a minor inconvenience, really.
Now, the property that you're on is absolutely spectacular. How is that all working out in terms of the rent of the land, your agreement here? Are you going to be staying for much longer?
Yeah, so we're staying put. Our relationship's really good with the landowner. We get along really well, and they're happy with us. So yeah,
we love it here.
Yeah,
yeah, it's perfect.
Fantastic, and I can see that you're definitely settling in a lot more to the landscape as well. I love what you've done there. That's really creative. What is going on?
So that's an old galvanizer. The landlord has used it in the past. I'm not sure, to be honest, what it is. But yeah, they can't move it. So I thought I will turn it into a garden/storage unit and make it look beautiful, or try to at least.
Fair enough. Well, you do have to look at it all the time. It's very creative what you've done with it. So I like that. And you've built this wonderful deck onto your house as well. Talk to me about this.
I wanted to make it fully from reclaimed material, so I didn't want to chop down any trees in the process. So we scavenged a whole lot of pallet wood and reclaimed timber. I made it in like 3 different sections, so potentially it could just go on the back of a truck if it needed to. Yeah, it's really expanded our living area. It's really nice.
And it looks like you're getting ready to put in some additional gardens here?
Yeah, we built some garden beds. I wanted to test out my traditional joinery with some dovetails, so I had some fun with that. But yeah, just to grow some produce and some flowers, yeah.
Well, should we go inside the place and see how it's transformed?
Sure.
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, the place is looking great. I love all the plants you've put in here. That's really just brought the whole place to life, hasn't it?
Yeah, thank you. Yes, I wanted to put as many plants as possible in here to make it, I don't know, look like living tiny and green.
Very true. So what has changed since we were here last?
So we've added some penny tiles in the kitchen, some coffee covers under the sink, and we've got some pegboards up on the wall.
We added some hanging space up in our sleeping loft.
Just minor adjustments here and there.
And how are you finding the layout of the space works for you?
Yeah, really good. I think everything's pretty well proportioned. Like, we haven't made it small in one area so you can make it big in another area. It's all just really well proportioned, and it's worked great.
Now, you work in IT from home. This here is your office that we're in right now. Is that all going well?
Yeah, really good. Office by day and TV by night. It's good, really good.
And now talk to me about the kitchen, because this is such a good, functional looking kitchen. How are you finding cooking in the space?
It's perfect, it's good. Like, we have enough bench space for food prep and for making breakfast. The shelves, they accommodate all our glasses and plates and everything. So yeah, it's been really, really good space actually, yeah. I also like our pantry space, especially the drawers, since they're really big and deep, and they're the perfect storage space for all our food and for our jars. So that was a really good decision to create and build these big drawers.
You've been living in this home for a year. Are there any real challenges that you've come across so far with living in this tiny house?
No, it's been
not really.
Pretty easy living. Yeah, it's good. No utility bills, that's always good.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to know that when I ask if there are challenges, you don't only struggle to find an answer to that question, but you also then answer me with a really positive thing. Yeah. So that's got to be a really good sign about the space.
Yeah, no, it's perfect for us. I wouldn't want any other way.
It really is. Yeah. Living here is peaceful. It's very calming. We have everything we need in here. We are not missing out on everything. Nothing is complicated to make or to run, or, you know, I don't have to go to the well to get water. It's just right there. Everything is easy and user-friendly, so it's not a hassle. So yeah, that makes living in here really, really easy. It's like a normal house. It's just in a tiny scale and off the grid. That's the only real difference. Yeah, and it totally works for us.
It's definitely freeing. Yeah, it's good.
It's a freeing lifestyle, for us at least.
Now, Frankie, how is she adjusting to life in the tiny house?
She's a very happy cat, very happy. She loves it. We have to sweep a lot. Small space and a fluffy cat, but nah, it's good. Life's good with her.
So what do you find you're enjoying most about life in the tiny house?
Living off renewables. And it ticks all our boxes, like office space, living.
Well, I agree. I like that too. Living off the grid is great. But I also like our sleeping loft. It's very cozy, and we have a little skylight, which is very great at night because we can obviously look at the skies and the stars. We even see satellites every now and then. So that's been awesome.
In terms of being completely off the grid here and all of your utilities and services inside the house, do you find yourself having to watch your consumption at all?
Not at all. Like if we want to watch TV, or watch TV. If we want to have a shower, because that runs a pump. That's quite energy intensive. But the biggest users would be like the oven, the electric oven. And so some appliances like that will only run when the sun's out. So that'll be aircon, oven and washing machine. And we'll just generally run when the sun's out, but otherwise everything's just whenever you want. We don't have to do that. Our system's big enough to run it whenever we want. It's just we want to protect the batteries, so we want to get a long life out of our investment, so we try to protect it like that.
So what do you think the future holds for you both now? What are your plans from here?
Building a houseboat.
Maybe. I don't know about that.
But in all seriousness, we really like it here. So at the moment we don't have any plans of moving or, I don't know, building a second house or something. We're just really happy and content at the moment.
Yeah, life's good as it is.
You're both going on holiday soon, aren't you? You're going to be off to Japan.
Definitely, yes.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that.
Yep, looking forward to that. 3 weeks time we're going to go to Japan for a couple of weeks, so that'll be cool. Yeah, I think because we can save so much now that we're living in the tiny house that we can just travel whenever we want. It's really unlocked a lot for us. It's good.
So how are you finding your living expenses versus your old life in the city?
Yeah, saving a lot of money.
A lot of money.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, we worked out the rental difference between our apartment life in Sydney and what we're paying now. We're saving 20 grand a year in the difference in rent, and we're saving even more if you add utilities and things like that as well. So we're saving so much money, which is really good, which has unlocked a better lifestyle in terms of we can travel more, or we could save up to buy our own property in the future if we want. Yeah, it just gives us options. It's definitely a good move for us. It was a leap of faith and it totally worked. So we're happy that it did.
Well, the place is looking really fantastic. It's great to see that you're both so happy here and doing so well. Thank you both so much for sharing your home with me again.
Thanks for us. Cheers.
I am so happy to see Paul and Annett doing so well in their home. The fact that living in this beautiful and self-sufficient space simultaneously enables them to be saving $20,000 a year on rent completely blows my mind, and it really goes to show just how fantastic a decision moving into this home really was for them.